something that is big that is happening in the boxing world this weekend, July 2nd, upcoming up.
Along with UFC 132, so y'all gonna have to flip back and forth.
Yeah.
And as Kevin said, the boxing match is free. It's on HBO, and I thought, well, not everyone has HBO, but it's closest to free as we can get.
Right. Just so it's gonna be tough. I mean, but Wladimir Klitschko is gonna be defending his belt against David the Haymaker Haye. Now,
all these Brits are gonna come out and support Haye. Look what they do for Bisping and Dan Hardy. So you know, for the fucking 3 Brits who watch this show and about MMA, they're gonna fucking love this.
They are gonna love it, and it's the big. I mean, they're behind him just like they were behind Lennox Lewis when he was fucking kicking people's ass. Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton fought himself into rehab.
Way to go, Hatton.
Hopefully he's winning that fight.
It is the biggest fight
because we love comeback stories.
We do. That's more from our lifetime. Jimmy's gonna fucking do a fucking spinoff of the Uncut Sports.
Oh, they're already asking him to.
Right.
How come Jimmy doesn't have it on channel? Because you'd be tired of looking at his ugly.
Right.
He'd have to do that shit in a full motor.
Now, anyway, this weekend is probably going to be the biggest heavyweight boxing match that we've seen in probably close to a decade. You know, you look at these two guys, Klitschko, classy fucking guy, you know, from the Ukraine. Him and his brother obviously have just ran through the heavyweight division over the last few years. And all of a sudden, you've got this Brit that's upcoming that's got the mouth, blah, 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 blah. This guy talks mad shit.
Dan Hardy and Bisping?
Yes.
Is that just a British thing? Like,
I don't even think it's a British thing, but I think, you know what, as crazy as it may seem, I think boxing needs this shit. They need, I mean, at least for it to
come back to the States.
Yeah, it's here in the States, but I think this guy has generated a lot of interest in this match. All your mainstream people are hearing this guy and the shit talking that's going between him and Klitschko, and now they're getting an interest. And it's just like when I told you guys, like, this guy just runs off at the fucking mouth. Now,
they're roughly about the same size. Klitschko's 6'5", 6'6", 81-inch reach. Hayes 6'3" with a 78-inch reach.
They're different in size.
Right, but here, to me, the most impressive thing about these two guys is their knockout percentages. Now, Klitschko's got, over 58 fights, and his knockout percentage is 84. Haye doesn't have as many as fights, but he's got 88%. So Jimmy goes, well, they don't have much of a chin. Well, I disagree with that because if you look at their knockouts, they're coming in the 9th through 12th. They're not coming 1 through 6. This isn't going to be a quick match. This is going to be one of these where they beat on each other for a while.
But where Jimmy is right, and I'll defend Jimmy, is Klitschko is a great defensive fighter. People don't get into him. He keeps you off balance with his jab. Right. So where his chin has been tested, it's not that strong. And Hayes has been rocked by cruiserweights. So I mean, he's used his quickness and elusiveness like Mayweather would to stay away from really getting tagged. When both these guys get tagged, their knees wobble quick.
All right. Well, with that said, before we get into your very thorough breakdown, which we will have to fly through because let's face it,
we'll post our notes if you want to see it.
Right. Who do you give the advantage to, and how long do you see the fight going?
Oh, want to break it down and talk about it as we break it down?
If you
break it on down and make it fun. Okay, let's talk. We just talked about their chins. I have to say the chin shit situation is easy. Let's talk about their past opponents, who they fought. Okay, I give the strong advantage to Klitschko. And why? Because, I mean, he's had wins over, who's Klitschko beat? He's beat Bird, Mercer, Peter, Thompson.
Chambers?
Not Tom Chambers.
Oh.
No. Eddie Chambers.
Oh.
Tony Thompson. And he's beat these guys, whereas Hayes had good wins, notable wins, but they've been against Cruiser, his more notable wins. So I'd say you got to give the opponents to, what's up?
You fighting guys in a green card line? I mean, look at these names.
I know, I fucked that up, man.
Okay.
I know, I fucked that up.
I just didn't want you to read that.
But but I would have to give the advantage to Klitschko. I mean, opponents. Defense, I would definitely have to give the Klitschko. I mean, because he just keeps you at distance. He's a really, you know, he doesn't get away from his game plan. He comes in, he doesn't fall into fighting your fight. A lot of boxers get frustrated and they start to fight your fight. Klitschko's one guy.
One of the things that they've been talking about is the reason Hayes talking so much trash, trying to get in his head to throw him off his game, because that's his best shot to win.
The man's a doctor. This shit ain't gonna work.
He's a doctor like Jimmy?
No, he's like fucking Magneto.
Or does he play
he's
a
gonna
doctor?
put that fucking helmet on and bing, 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 can't get in his head. Shit's just gonna bounce off. That's a comic book reference for you.
Nice, George.
That's
right.
a good movie. You got to see it, man.
Anyways,
I did. It was awesome. Yes.
That's a kick-ass movie.
Everybody who's watching this is rolling eyes going, when these niggas gonna start talking about boxing? We don't give a shit.
Yeah, that would be in a British accent.
Well, he's big.
What bloody fucking hell is they talking about now? And I know that
how about
wasn't
you
fucking
imitate
British.
Klitschko and I'll imitate fucking
I
Haye?
don't do Russian, remember?
You do?
They get
Can you,
mad
Jimmy?
at me.
Can you do Russian?
No,
you
definitely
can't.
not.
Anyway, Haye gets
I'm just
the nod
looking
for
bread.
wow.
Go ahead, raise your hand, George. George, you can speak now. Go ahead.
Haye gets the nod for
George.
Haye gets the nod for footwork.
Okay.
Because he's a smaller fighter and he should move around a lot quicker.
Hayes definitely is going to get the nod.
But my
for
question
footwork.
is, will he be able to get inside Vladimir's reach?
I think this.
Because he's going to have to get inside of his reach. I'm hurrying on real quick because fucking Jimmy will cut me off and I'm going to get my winner.
Okay. No, not about boxing, because honestly,
right.
You guys are the experts here. I'm not sure about this.
No.
Did he just contradict himself?
Yes, he did.
He did? Jimmy just contradicted himself and said that he's not an expert on something. I just want you guys to take note of that. Anyway, he is going to have to definitely use his speed and footwork to get inside Klitschko, because Klitschko has a lot of fucking power. He's the bigger, he's the stronger guy, so you got to give the size and strength to him and the power to him. With all that being said...
So I guess my question is does Haye obviously doesn't have the speed of a Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
But will his speed look like that compared to what I would consider a bigger, slower Klitschko, who's going to be more defensive? Does Haye have a chance to hit, move, and like hit and run?
That's going to be I think if Haye goes on the offense quick, tries to get inside, move quick, and land, he has the ability to knock out Klitschko because he's got a lot of power, and Klitschko doesn't have the strongest chin, and that has been a problem. Speed has been a little bit of a problem for Klitschko in the past. I think he could win this fight. If he sits back and let it get into later round where Klitschko is establishing his jab and just jabbing and jabbing, he's going to lose this fight. Either by unanimous decision or Klitschko's either going to land one of those fucking left hooks and fucking put him out on the canvas.
So what round do you have this fight ending? It's not going to the decision.
I'm gonna go with Klitschko 8th round knockout.
I'm going with Klitschko 5th round knockout.
I'm going Klitschko in 7. But I'd love to see Haye win the fight. I think if Haye wins this fight, it helps boxing out a lot.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. I like to see Haye win the fight. As much shit talking as he does, you know what I'm saying? Our buddies over there in Britain, I'd like to see them have fucking a champion again. Because the Eastern Europeans have just, nothing wrong with that. They've dominated. And I think it's time for change.
And
That's just me.
I think if Haye wins this, it gets the Americans an opportunity to get a big-time heavyweight fight back on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Klitschko, I don't think he's fought in the U.S. since 06?
I don't know.
I think it was 08.
08. I mean,
so it's been 3 years.
And he's just fights in Germany. I came in and I said boxing's starting to go the way of soccer for us here in America. Us Americans, we have MMA. It's quick, gruesome. It's not long. I mean, it just appeals to
It's exciting.
Right. We have a short attention span here. The shit's over in 25 minutes at the longest.
I know what you're thinking, Jimmy. I know what Jimmy's thinking. I go, it's exciting. And Jimmy went, yeah, like, It's you contradicted yourself.
How? How am I contradicting myself?
Jimmy, go ahead and tell him how.
No, I mean, that's what makes the fights exciting is when there is that quick flash knockouts.
Did I say that's what I like?
No.
I said
true.
that's what the Americans like. That's why I think MMA.
100%,
Right,
yeah.
like this redneck Jew. He likes that shit.
That's a contradiction right there.
That's a fucking redneck Jew.
You can't be a fucking redneck Jew. You
I
never
don't know.
met one?
Huh?
He's right there.
You fucking Klansman, nigger.
Dude, he's got chickens in his... Look, he's raising goats and chickens. That's some redneck shit, right? Because he's too cheap to pay for it.
You have goats and chickens?
Yes.
Look at
Bye-bye.